This is an example of what I would call a happy accident of discovery. And it's an advantageous listen in a number of respects, certainly on featured credits, but also on the CORIDIAN regard. I'll lay a foundation, though, for you for anybody who's curious about this group and how I approached, because it's only been a couple of hours that RAKSHASA, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a bit of a tongue twister, forgive me if I'm not, and I welcome clarification down below. I'm trying my best. It's only a couple of hours I've known about this track's existence, and I only found out about it because at the time, earlier this morning, I had planned to do a bunch of music coverage today and catch up with some artists that I've been spotlighting recently, and I was confirming that nothing had released under my nose, just unknowingly. And so I was on the iTunes storefront page, and I did a search under Written by Wolves. Some of you might recognize that name in terms of recent channel appearances of who I've showcased, a New Zealand alternative band who I've been a fan of for a number of years. And as I said, I was on the storefront page, and I went through their discography, and I was just perusing the dates just to make sure, did I miss anything since Take Me Home? I'm up to speed with them, but I happened upon this one song that I don't recognize attributed to CORIDIAN, and I look at it in greater detail, like, why did it pull up this number? Oh, featuring Michael Murphy, lead singer of Written by Wolves, who I'm a big fan of in terms of vocal pitch and styling. I love the guy, and delivery. Just, man, he's a force in the alternative space. I loved humor in him. Favorite of mine. But CORIDIAN, fresh introduction. But anything with Michael Murphy's credits, I'm going to be engaged with automatically just on a first temptation. And CORIDIAN, many of you know how much I love prioritizing music coverage on this channel, and I have a special place in terms of first impression witnesses, because of the effect that music coverage can offer in regards to fellowship amidst various approaches of audience membership, whether you happen to be a long-standing fan of somebody, and maybe I'm not, or you're in a mutual position like me and you're taking your first approach. Music coverage offers a lot, and I love being able to share in a sense, or to foster a sense of, for lack of a better term, community with enjoying good art together, or providing opportunities for that. And the first impression regard, discovering new voices, especially in the international regards. This is now going to be the second group from New Zealand I've been introduced to. But CORIDIAN, as I understand, I try to get a good background on them. I'm just looking at their Facebook page. Heavy strumming, hard-hitting, deep grooving. That's another pitch for me, at least on tees. I'm a big metal guy, so anything of that, or metal/rock, anything of that vein instantly appeals, or stuff in the alternative space. You know, Written by Wolves plays around quite exquisitely with a variety of mixtures and sound delivery and musical techniques. Maybe CORIDIAN will have a similar foundation. I don't know. It could be quite different. It could be more of a rock emphasis. We're going to discover that together. And don't be surprised in the future, as per usual of collaborations, if I take this opportunity and serve it as the introduction to CORIDIAN and maybe take a deep dive later. In the near future, or maybe the distant future, we'll see. I will add them to the list, though, because I love being able to feature new talents. I love getting a grander taste for artists out there that I've not drawn up upon yet, in particular in a hope that I can not only spotlight good art offerings and take fun first experiences of you, but also foster paths for you to discover competent talents that maybe you weren't accustomed to yet, that we get to discover together. It's a fun exchange we have here. And CORIDIAN is the latest fresh attribution. Let's humor them together on part of the official music video that came out, as I understand, of last summer. So I'm definitely behind on this, but that's under about a year's period. But I only found out about it today, but I'm in a real Written by Wolves mood. I've been for a long while. So anything of Michael Murphy's credits, I'm game. Let's humor this together. I have my presumptions, but it could go to a variety of different respects on musical tonality and genre focus. Rock bend? Hard rock presence, maybe? Even rhythm? Consistent foundation? I like that delivery. Good presence on lead vocals. There's going to be a good link between him and Michael, or Mikey. I can't wait to hear the intermixing. But so far, the scope of the song is pretty good. Central hard rock influence. then return back to that dissension. I love that basis. Fitting hard rock riff structure. Great ambiance there in the background. Mikey's elevation is taking prominence here, but you can kind of hear the two overlap. It's a natural flow for sure. Each intermixes sufficiently well. This is a smooth entrance. I like this one. Stretched bridge, but I like the energy of it. And here comes our return. Nice lingering O support on the vocals. Effective blending, good transitional application. Great duality. Love it. That yell is just great for this song. Especially mixed with their lead vocalist. Do I have a name credit so I can properly attribute this, or is that listed or not? I'll find it out later. And maybe some of you will welcome that in the comments down below if that's, a point of knowledge for you. I don't have anything available to me at the moment, at least on quick reference. Oh, maybe it's on the... Hang on a second. Let me look at the official video posting. Maybe it's credited there. Maybe Mike Raven, he's listed first. I'm not exactly sure. It's a strong number creatively. On the hard rock side, easily delivers as a point of interest. It's a subdued song. I like that that entrance. It's a slower rock number. Good key choice. Nice de-escalating pattern on the riff structure in the beginning. It naturally descends, got a good flow. It's a structure I've heard mimicked before in other hard rock songs, which is why I say it's a nice mainstay presence. But I like it here. The application is pretty thorough. The vocal layering, in isolation, CORIDIAN's lead vocalist, great match to Mikey. Good duality. Although between the two, it is a lower pitch complement. It is much more rock-esque versus Mikey's, which kind of floats around, and his has a much higher inflection, at least from what's been demonstrated here. But, there's a good raise on part of the lead vocalist as well, but it's much more in that rock space, whereas Mikey's, it's a bit diversified. And as the song proceeds, once Mikey comes into the second verse, love that. Man, just you experience the higher pitch. I love him as a vocalist. He's one of my favorites, as I said. Every opportunity to engage thus far written by Wolves, but now CORIDIAN. That's a good tease for the future. I can't wait to look at this group further. The choice over him to yell at the end. Nice. And again, judging by that second chorus, you hear Mikey more readily. Maybe I had my volume turned down a bit, which might have not helped in terms of differentiating so I could hear simultaneously. Though I had both headphones in, so I should be able to pick it up. But Mikey's voice definitely takes a bit of a lead position when the two overlap on the same notes after the bridge, and good transitional application, by the way, of using that lingering yell, it's kind of like a pseudo yell, and the O's to bridge the gap, to escalate the tension and the aggression back in for that harder closure. That scream, though, and the yell, I loved it. Good choices, especially to differentiate both vocalists. Again, thorough compliment here. I'm grateful they brought Mikey on. You know, that's what's normal with a lot of collaborations. You might have somebody that is of notable regard to a certain fan base that might attract fans over, as they did to me. So now I've discovered Forbidden by Wolves' connection with Mikey to CORIDIAN. There's the point of journey. You see why I love the collaborative model? And I've applied that generally to many other artists, especially on the international grounds. Don't get me started on Europe. But with New Zealand, this is the second group I've humored, so I'm continuing to take out a broader approach than just American groups and Europeans. Now venturing off to, where else have I gone? South America, New Zealand. Isn't there another country I'm missing at the moment that I've also humored recently? I don't remember exactly. Anywho, I love building out a library of artists that deserve to be showcased, especially for anybody who's looking to enjoy good art, right? I hope to inspire you in any way, simultaneously as I'm inspiring myself in discovering a lot of these names. It's not, as much as these are fun journeys for me, I don't want it to just be a selfish ambition that I produce content like this. I want it to be a 50-50 where you also come to enjoy great artists and that there's an interest that compels you to dig deeper. I will be with CORIDIAN eventually, for sure. I will keep them on the list, and I will definitely try and make an effort of engaging at some point with other works of theirs. We'll see. It might take some time. I got a number of artists I got to consult at the moment, but I appreciated the first introduction. More to come on that regard, but with Mikey's credits, I love listening to him. Great enjoyment on that front. I'm grateful to have discovered this piece, maybe a bit later than most, admittedly, but now I found out about it. Better late than never. What are your guys' thoughts with this new piece from CORIDIAN? Maybe they're the introduction to you, in the same space that I'm acting from, right? This was my first entrance to their work. Not to Mikey's vocals, though. He was the point of entrance for me. Maybe it was for some of you, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was a first interaction on both grounds. I'd love to hear how you approach this piece and what you think about it down below if you do wish to disclose your perspective. As I said with CORIDIAN, more to come. Great entrance piece, though. I'm a big metal, rock guy, so that easily clicks with me, even if it is again a bit of a softer tonality, but good, mature sound and delivery on the execution and the structuring of the piece, especially on vocal constructions and allowing each vocalist the opportunity to shine exquisitely, and the choices on part with Mikey's delivery on vocals. Good demonstration of his talents if you've never humored Written by Wolves before. Although, again, he's got quite a varied application and genre focus. This is much more of a hard rock mainstay. Maybe CORIDIAN acts kind of outside of this, too, and this was just a particular choice for this one song. We'll see. I'll have to look at how expanded it is of their reach and genre focus, but it was a good piece, all things considered. Good overlap between the two, and Mikey was a wonderful choice to bring on to complement that other vocalist as well. Again, I'll try and find out. Well, as I said, welcome clarification down below if you happen to know everybody by name whose role is which. So just so I'm not mixing up names. The compliment on both vocalist regard, especially married to a beautifully structured piece. Fun opportunity to humor yet another fresh introduction for me. More to come with CORIDIAN. And it's always a pleasure recognizing Mikey. I love listening to his voice. And here it was exquisite on delivery. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.